Hi. So today I'll be sharing an exceptionally important part of our day-to-day activities, as well as a key lesson that we all need to learn as we develop ourselves in business, personal relationships, as well as other facets of our lives. As you know, uh, I don't come up here to deliver cooked up stories or what I just feel are true. What I share are from several researches that I've done, from different sources, from books, research journals, the internet, as well as personal experiences to give you the perfect blend of what the subject is really about. So today we'll talk about effective negotiation. Now the subject of negotiation is an amazingly broad topic because it's a whole course on its own. So what I've done is to break it down and summarize it into some of the basic knowledge that you need to know, and then I broke it and put it into 15 important things to note. And I'll share these things in five in three videos. Each will contain five important things to note, okay, so that we can uh, better understand it and assimilate the knowledge well. Negotiating and economics are quite closely related because both of them are based on the fact that each person places different values on different things at different times. Everyone behaves economically in the sense that we always strive to negotiate the very best situation or result for ourselves in every situation. When we negotiate, we are always obeying the economic laws of minimization and maximization, which is that we want to get the very most for the very least. We want to get the best product for the least amount, get the best result for the least efforts possible, in that's all things being equal. But the key to really understanding and getting better and better at negotiating is to keep learning and continue practicing on a consistent pattern. Okay, so let's see what the first five key things to note. Now, it's not in any particular order, but let's see what the first five key things to note about negotiating are. The first thing is to understand that everything is negotiable. Everything is negotiable. All laws, prices, and terms were set by somebody or a group of people, which means that they can be changed by somebody or a group of people. Now, we're not saying that everything will be changed, but we're saying that there is a chance that it can be changed. Okay, so don't get intimidated by written prices or already existing laws, either in contracts, letters, or wherever. Just assume that they are written in pencil and they can be easily cleaned and erased and replaced with something that is more favorable for you. The key thing to note is that you need to ask. Okay, what is important to understand or in knowing that everything is negotiable is that all you need to do is to ask. Just ask. The main reason why a lot of us don't really ask for better deals or better plans is because of the deep subconscious fear of rejection that all of us have. Okay, and the only way to overcome a fear is to confront that fear. Okay, so ask politely, ask in a warm and friendly manner, ask expectantly and confidently, and you'll be amazed at how quickly people can improve the terms and conditions if only you ask. Okay, now second thing to note is that we all need to understand that negotiation is successful only with a person who has the authority to approve the terms and conditions you agree upon. I take that again. We all need to understand that negotiation is successful only with a person who has the authority to approve the terms and conditions you agree upon. Now, if you've seen the movie, the seasonal movie on Netflix, Money Heist, precisely in season one, I'll show a clip soon. I'll show you the excerpt. Now, in season 1, episode 2, when the negotiation between the professor and the inspector was about to begin, what he asked was, he asked if he was speaking with someone who had the power to make the decisions. Okay?
Eso es lo que quieren. Un helicóptero.
De momento lo que quiero es negociar con alguien que no me esté dando largas, que no tenga que estar preguntando a un superior o inteligencia o a su mamá para
Okay,
decirme
so it's
sí o
important
no.
to
Entonces debería hablar
always
directamente con el
ask and
presidente,
be
pero
sure that the
puesto
person
que
you are
está
making the
ocupado
negotiation
dirigiendo el
with
país,
is in the power to
intentaré
make the final decision. And then the simplest way to do this is to ask the person if he or she is authorized to make the final call. In a case where you are dealing with someone who cannot make the final decision, you must also represent yourself as being unable to make the final decision as well. This way you level the playing field and you increase your flexibility in a case of an unacceptable counter offer. Okay. Thirdly, put yourself in the shoes or situations of the other person. This enables you to prepare and negotiate more effectively. I found out during my research that in law school, law students have what's called the lawyer's method of reverse preparation. The students are given a case to either prosecute or defend as an exercise. They are then taught to prepare the other lawyer's case before they begin to prepare their own. They examine all the information and evidence, and they imagine that they are on the other side. Now, this helps them to prepare thoroughly with the full intention of winning. Okay, and then after all of these things have been identified, after the information and evidence have been identified on the other side, that's when they begin to begin their own side of the case. So this is a really amazing technique that dramatically sharpens your negotiating skill. All right, before you negotiate, do your homework. Write down everything that you think may be of importance or concern with the person or to the person that you are going to be meeting, and then answer all the questions that you feel the person will ask before you get there. All right, this is a very key thing to note. Ensure that you do your preparation before you begin the negotiation, so that you know what angle and what question the person is likely to ask, and then be able to get the answers before that time. Okay. Fourthly, understand that you can always get a better deal if you know how. Now, in the movie I talked about earlier, Money Heist, there were several times that the inspector told the robbers that their time in jail would be reduced. In trying to negotiate them to surrender, both the inspectors had to tell or try to convince the robbers that their times in jail, their jail years can be shortened and reduced if only they comply. All right, so it shows that it may not really be true that the length of years in jail may be reduced, but at least it shows that there is a possibility, that there is a chance. Like I said in the first point, the key is to ask. The word ask is the most powerful word in the world of business and negotiating. A lot of people are so filled with the thought of rejection and disapproval that they never ask anything out of the ordinary. We just accept what is offered to us and we hope for the best. This is definitely not the case with top negotiators. They always calmly and confidently ask for any kind of term or condition that is reasonable. Now, I'll share two things with you that I think are important to note under this fourth key thing to note. The first is that whatever the suggested price, in business setting now, whatever the suggested price is, I need you to read it with surprise and disappointment. Okay, so when you hear the price, instead of accepting it straight up, you need to act like you're surprised. React with surprise and disappointment. Understanding that a lot of people just make up these prices for certain items in their head, and sometimes some people just call prices and call whatever the terms are out of their head and out of thin air. So you need to act a little bit surprised and with a little bit of shock, with a tone of disappointment, and then you ask, is that the best you could do? Okay, and then remain silent. Most times when you do this, the person usually readjusts the price or the condition. Okay, so when next you hear a voice, when next you hear a condition or a price, try to act like you're surprised. Okay, and then ask the person nicely and calmly, is that really the best you could do? Can you do something better? Can you reduce the price a little bit? And then just wait and see what the person's reaction or the person's reply would be. Okay, and then secondly, always imply that you can do better somewhere else. Okay, so when you're trying to sell something or you're trying to buy something, nothing causes a seller's price to drop faster than hearing that you can get the same item cheaper from another source. Okay, so you need to, when you hear the price, try to negotiate and then see if you can get something better. But in a case where you cannot, then you need to understand that you can also say that you can get the price or get this item at a cheaper price somewhere else. Okay, and lastly, for this particular video, the first 5 things to note is to understand that the purpose of a negotiation is to enter into an agreement such that both parties have their needs satisfied and are much more motivated to fulfill their agreement with the same party in the future. Okay, everything about negotiation has to do with both. If you're dealing long term, you must understand that the success of this present negotiation determines if there will be a futuristic or another deal in future. So you need to be sure that this particular one has the or goes in favor of the other party. Okay, this is primary to note, especially in cases where you will be dealing with the same party again. So if you're going to be dealing with the same person again, then obviously it's not advisable to ruin your chances of getting better deals in future just because you want to win this one. Okay, so both parties must have their needs satisfied and met. Any agreement where any of the party feels like he or she has lost this particular bargain or deal does not fulfill the basic requirements of a successful negotiation. So let both parties feel positive enough about the deal that they are willing to negotiate again and again and again in future. This is particularly key for business people and the business setting where you have to sell and buy goods and products and services. Okay, so in cases where you need to keep buying from the person over and over again, it's essential that this person feels like he or she has won this particular bargain or deal. So those are the first 5 things to note on this subject of negotiation. We'll continue them in next video. In the next video we'll have the next 5, and then the other one will have the final 5 things to note. Kindly subscribe, share, and like this video if it helped you. Thank you.